Then I used the cowboy bell, the clap, the hi-hat to give further counterpoint to the kick and the snare at certain points in the track. Then I used the crash and the 3 toms to create a beat of sorts. Then after I had already made all of that, I went through and I found this other beat, the simple beat, the bump and grindy thing, and I put that in underneath. Well, I put it in, when I say underneath, I mean I put it in to where it's not going to overpower what I've made. It's going to enhance it. Oh, and the other thing that I really wanted to say about this is panning for drums. Okay, this is one thing that is super important when you're crafting your own drum loops or drum sounds like this. Is you need to keep in mind where drums lie within a drum kit, or at least basically. So I've got and of course everybody has their own drum kit, so it's not a hardcore rule that you have to follow. But for the simple hi-hat, I've got it panned all the way to one side. The kick is dead center because pretty much every drum kit, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a drum kit where the kick drum wasn't right in the middle. The snare, I believe I panned that partially to one side, I think about, what was it, 30% off to the right. And let's see, the cowbell I kept centered because in most of the drum kits I've seen that have a cowbell, it's usually right in the middle, sometimes off to one side, but usually it's fairly middle centered. I put the clap off to 62% off to one side. The other hi-hat I put completely off to the left as a counterpoint to the other hi-hat there. The crash drum, or the cymbals, I put most of the way off to the right because, again, in most drum kits the crashes are usually arranged around the top, but usually off to one side or the other. In the toms I put one in the middle roughly and panned the other 2 off 30% to either side. And again, there is no solid rule as to where you have to pan drums. It's just that keep in mind that on a drum kit the drums are situated off to you have a few drums in the middle and then the rest are panned off to the side somewhere. So if you actually record pan the drums, no matter how simple the sounds you come up with, the beat you came up with is, as long as you pan the drums, it sounds more like a real drum kit. So that's the other trick for drums. And okay, that's it for this one. And I've accidentally run over the 10 minutes for YouTube, so I'm gonna either have to split this up or trim it. Well, I guess since I've already run over, I might as well go ahead and just move on to the next part and then trim it from there. Okay. Let's see, that was one for the road. Okay, and this is going to be about how to do the same basic thing, only with guitar and bass loops. As you can see right here, I've got a lot of different loops in this one. All of this stuff down here is vocal stuff, so I need to come up here. Okay. So, as you can see, I have taken this is a bass loop right here, and I've cut it up into pieces. Basically, using the split tool and I'm thinking I've showed that to you, but in case I haven't, I will right now. You would click on the loop, position your cursor where you want to cut it, and then you can come in here and use split it cursor. Okay, and I've already done it as much as I need to for this. So what I did is I took a drum or a bass loop that was, you know, it was just a loop, and then I cut up the various sounds within that loop, and then I went through and took the time to paste them all in, those different pieces, and then using, okay, here's the loop, the whole loop, and I spaced clips of the whole thing throughout it, but then I also put in pieces of it to create a full bass line for this song out of one loop. Now again, it does take a lot longer to do it that way rather than just stretching out the loop through the whole thing, but you get a loop that is, or a bass line that's, or drum line, because you can do the same thing with drums if they're spaced out enough. Otherwise you'll have bits of sounds that don't fit with what is being played. For example, if you had a drum loop that has a crash in it, and you try to split all of that up, you'll end up with that crash coming in on top of other drum beats that are drum hits that it doesn't belong with, so you can't really do it very well with drum loops like that. This is best for guitar loops and bass loops where the player, when they were making it, paused enough where you can get the whole sound and then cut it.